That first morning, in the swampy heat of early September, exactly 3 minutes after Garber exited the library, and just as Dan Haberer was about to hit play on the second-hand Discman that he lorded over adherents to more convenient forms of technology, Liesl took him by the arm and asked him to retrieve the Peshawar manuscript. As an afterthought, she told him to bring a couple of book trucks to Christopher's office to gather various scattered volumes for reshelving. Dan made an offended display of removing his headphones. Liesl waited until they were all the way off, wrapped in their cord, placed gingerly upon the Discman, and the middle-aged man clad in head-to-toe denim was face to face with her before repeating her request. While waiting for the headphones and listening to Dan's vague grumbles about book request slips and policies and work he had planned for the morning, Liesl had plenty of time to reflect on how unusual Dan's heavy denim and combat boot ensemble was in the academic library. Corduroy slacks that stretched over thick thighs, well-polished loafers concealing collapsed arches, a short-sleeved polo on a hot day, occasionally. These were the uniforms for their battalion. To be confronted with the workman's ensemble over Dan's slender frame as he ambled, for Dan always ambled, toward the elevator to get the Peshawar for her and the donors, was a contradiction so acute that Liesl never quite trusted her eyes. It was the too obvious choice, the Peshawar, for the show and tell with the money. She could have been creative, could have asked some of the library's people, could have phoned up a dealer for a one-day loaner. But Liesl wasn't up on doing things just for the sake of appearances on her very first day of the #1 job. Besides, she assumed that this accumulation of money-loving people would appreciate being in close proximity with these pages that had contributed to the invention of modern mathematics. You can't have a bank balance with 8 zeros unless someone first invents the zero.